Good morning. Welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to take literal junk or thrifted items and turn it into home decor that we sell at jamierayvintage.com and in our retail store in Lehi, Utah. All the paint and products you see us use can be purchased at jamierayvintage.com. And today we are working with these bottles that we got from Trader Joe's. They had limeade in them. We bought them for New Year's, and they're actually French bottles because the product is made in France. They're curvy. They've got like this really cool indent where the label goes. They've got these little bubbles on the bottom that are fun. And I went ahead and already did some molding and glued it in place, stepping out. But Zeb's going to show you how to make a resin mold. You could also do clay, which would probably curve better with the surface. But because I wanted to paint and like wax right away, I went ahead and used resin because it dries in 10 minutes.
So I've got the IOD or Iron Orchid Designs.
And I should say it's casting white resin.
Yeah, it's not the clear.
The clear does not dry in 10 minutes.
We're going to do a project probably next week with the clear. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to do some. And I've got primer, which is what I'm going to be using. This is Salvation Solution in white. We do have one more clear, and then I think we're going to be out of the primer and clear until the end of January, beginning of February, because DIY is out.
So if you're very exact, these IOD, the wild berries, the newer molds, if you have some from a few years ago, they're not going to have the measurements on them. But everything since like 2022, I think, maybe even earlier than that, has the measurements on the molds. So you can know exactly how many milliliters or grams, if you're weighing out clay or whatever you need. Or if you have a package that tells you how much it'll make, you can gauge like what you're going to need. But this is a thinner mold, and it's got a ton of fun designs, spring designs. Berries usually come on fairly early for us here in Utah. We usually have strawberries by end of April. And then this one is deeper, and Jamie's already got some of these made. These roses are actually really fun. This is the Felicity mold. And also has the measurements on this one here, but much deeper. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because these are going to flex right out of the mold because they're thinner around this bottle a lot better than these will.
You can show them how these, because you have to wait till they're all the way dry, and it took a minute. See how
we do have a little bit of a gap right here.
So I'm actually going to try to backfill that with a little clay.
Jamie did get it to round, but in the center part, where the petals aren't and the leaves, it didn't move for her because it was just too thick.
But I have clay, and I'm going to backfill it a little bit with that clay and then prime it. And then we're going to be using DIY paint, which is a little bit thicker, not self-leveling. So that'll kind of hide some of my gapping. But I really wanted the flowers on the bottle. I think they're going to be really pretty. So I was willing to risk it. So I was thinking this one here would be good.
This long one here?
Yeah. I don't know if you can. I think with a lot of tape, you could get that because it's thin enough. You could get it to go around.
Where is the tape?
I put that over there. And okay. I have some. I saved you my pile of leftovers if we need more.
I'm going to Home Depot today, so we need to add that to the list.
We have a bunch of like Amazon crappy painter's tape.
I'm putting up a fence today, and I'm going to be cementing it in, and I'm debating, do I mix it with a standard shovel and bucket, or do I get a cement mixer that'll work with my generator, or they make a Milwaukee drill that's like huge,
do you need a new drill?
Specifically for mixing that will work with my already existing battery system that I have.
I see where this is headed.
But I could also just do the shovels. I'm just worried it's going to be a pretty big hole because I'm using railroad ties as the gate ends. And those are, I don't know, that big. So I got to get a lot of cement around them. So we'll see. We'll see. We might film that and put it on the Jamie and Zeb channel just for fun and show you where we're putting this gate at. It's on a piece of property we just got this fall. Yes, I should have some gloves. When I get back, we're going to mix, and I'm going to go over it in detail so that you guys
I mean, I can try to find it, but if you know where they're at, you're going to save my fingers from me. So I'm literally just taking air-dried clay and gel glue. And did you find the gloves?
It looks like the box is gone. I do have one other spot in the garage that they might be, but I also might have moved that over to the barn when I was moving a bunch of tools.
Well, I'm just shoving this underneath the edge. So that way it's not got a gap. Trying not to sacrifice my manicure. I just got my nails done on Saturday and I don't have a lot of extra time right now. All right, let's see. I already have glue all over my hands. Well, if I don't get it on my nails, I'll be okay. I'm going to use a rag. Just kind of smush that in there. Making a mess of my bottle. I'll show you up close what it is, what it looks like. You don't have to do this. You could just leave the gaps. It's not going to come off, but I didn't want there to be a huge gap between the edge of my bottle and the mold that I put on. So this is one side, and there's like a clear gap here that definitely when you paint, you notice. And here's the other side that I just shoved glue and then clay along the edge, and then I'm just smushing it in. And I don't have to wait for it to dry to paint it. And that will fix it. It's a lifesaver because you can do a bucket at a time. He's gonna get it. It's fine. I have this little savings account for buying property in California, buying a rental property. I'm about 24 to 44 years out from being able to do that. So I'm trying to put all my extra cash in there, but you could probably buy the drill equipment if you need. Did you find me gloves?
I can mix with a shovel. It's fine. It's just a lot. I have a lot more work.
All right. How about?
I did not have gloves. I have some in my IFAC kit, but
it's fine. I might have some if I went all the way upstairs, but I'm just going to backfill this.
I'm not taking those out of there, so we'll have to just remember to get gloves next time for the house.
Well, can you do this then? Backfill that, and then I will use.
Did you put a bunch of glue in there?
Yeah, just backfill it, and then I'll use my rag to wipe it. Because look, I already. I know. I just don't want to get it on my nails.
Okay.
I'm a nail girl now. And before you say, "Wow, she's changed. She has nails." I had nails
when I met her. She had nails.
I didn't have nails because I was flat-chested, broke for many, many years. And then you get so used to not doing anything for yourself. I just didn't do it. Plus, it takes time. And now it's just like I make time and I spend the money and I move on with my life. And I love them. So there's that. And if they ever get annoying, I'll just take them off. But I keep them really short and they're just gel. I can smear.
You're painting, right?
Yep, I'm going to prime it and use DIY paint, so
okay.
It'll be all right. Okay, so that's just backfilling all the ledges. I'm going to need you to do that to this one too, but we can wait.
We'll get it in a minute. Let me mix some resin up and get this going.
Priming. And we're using Gorilla Glue Super Gel. This is the only thing we don't carry. You can use whatever. This just dries insanely fast, and I like it.
And it's gel, so it's thicker than like your regular super glue, so it doesn't run all over your bottle.
I have used a myriad of other things, but.
All right, when you get the resin, we carry clear and the white kind. The white kind dries faster. The clear is used more for like tabletops, cutting boards, jewelry, and it takes 24 hours to set up. But you're gonna get a side A and a side B, and then you're gonna mix equal parts of these for however much you need. I usually just fill, because we have tons of projects, I usually just fill these little measuring cups that come with the resin in the box. I'll fill them up to the top is 30 milliliters, or if you're using cc's, it's 30 cc's. It's same.
Okay, Salvation Solution Primer in white is thicker. You're going to get brush strokes, which I'm actually okay with because I'm using DIY paint. If you want it thinner, less brush strokey, then you can use the clear, which we do have one. I don't know if we have it in stock, but because I said we had one pint of the clear.
All right, so side B going here. Now this is the important part of resin. You want them to be equal, because if they're not, the chemical reaction won't happen. And I've had it where I've had less or more of one side or the other, and it won't set up. Like it'll stay oily for 5 years. It will never set up.
Hot mess. And then you get to scrub it out and use mold release cleaner and crap. It's not that picky. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can do it, which means it's not that picky.
Then I'm going to stir it. I got it in this clear jar, so hopefully you can see it. It kind of went cloudy on us there. You keep stirring, and it's going to start to clear up again.
You also want to do it in a well-ventilated area. Wear gloves. Don't get it on your hands. All the things. If you're sensitive to smells, maybe just use clay, which you totally can in these molds. I'm going to show them this.
Okay.
Here it is painted. The primer's on. Again, there are brush strokes. That is also totally fine.
So once it goes clear, you're ready to pour. Now, the more you mix up, the faster it's going to set up. And the deeper and bigger your mold is, same story, the faster it's going to set up.
The other thing too, though, with gel polish, just in case you are a crafter, paint comes off with them easy because it's not traditional polish. And I don't really have to be too fussy with them. But getting Gorilla Glue with clay mixed together on my nails probably wouldn't end well.
Oh, yeah.
And you really should be if you're using super glue, because it really shouldn't be on your fingers anyways. You should probably be wearing gloves. So today we'll get a big old pack of gloves.
Okay, I've got a little left, but I've got some really delicate details. I'm just going to use the tip of the fork here to kind of pull over into those details.
You want to,
it's like the whole thing is full.
I wonder if you want, do you want to put that when you're done, like slide it up there so they can actually watch it turn white?
I'm just going to put a couple more drips in here to really fill it out. And then I'm going to do a couple strawberries. Looks like I've got enough for a strawberry.
The strawberries I always over pour. And here's the thing. If you over pour, but when you pull it out, you peel it off, it's fine. Like I totally over.
If you don't let it sit, you got to peel it off pretty quick.
Yeah, if you don't peel it off quick, then you're out of luck. All right, I'm going to start putting glue on the edge of this so that way you can.
I pretty much got every. Whoa, that one went way over poured. Whoops.
It happens.
So I'm just filling these so that I don't waste this resin. So we'll have other elements to use later down the road, or we can even build on this bottle today. We'll see. All right, that's starting to set up, so it's not pouring good. All right. Some of these are over poured.
All right,
that's okay. I'm going to leave that right there.
You can roll up and
you'll be able to kind of watch it turn white. Is this dry enough?
Yeah, just put the clay in.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wipe it with my rag.
Oh, gotcha.
And then while we're waiting on other stuff to do, we did grab, oh, I guess we have a box that Zeb can get started on. We're always stepping out our projects. Sorry if it gets a little confusing, but we try not to be boring. We don't want to be like, and now paint is drying. And it does work nicely if you just let the paint, especially the primer, dry on its own. If your primer is ever too thick, you can add a little bit of water and stir it. It'll be fine. Gail said that she gardens and crafts, and she was blogging with her stamping and paper crafting, and someone commented about her nails. I can honestly say nobody's ever commented about my nails on camera, but they do look nice when they are painted. It's got paint, got primer on that one. And because I do pink and whites, which is like the pink's close to my natural nail color, I find that if I use cuticle oil, I can go about 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. It's not too bad. And the place I go is literally like, what, a mile from here?
All right,
not too far.
That's ready. I see what you're saying though. Like I have glue and air dry clay like all on my fingers now. It's okay. I will do enough.
So this
work
rag
today,
is just
it'll all wear
wet.
off.
And I'm just smoothing out the clay.
You guys can see that it's starting to set up. It's turning white.
So that way it's all around the edge and we don't have a weird hole. And I don't think Zeb's going to have to do this with his thinner. So just keep that in mind. If you pull it off right away and tape it in place and you're using the thinner resin, you can usually get it to mold better than these thick pieces, but it's all right. We know some workarounds. Okay, I think I got that as smooth as it's going to get. Let's prime this. Oh, yes. Caitlin wants you to remember that we have 20% off of JRV Closet. It's all the new clothes that we carry. I think jewelry, and I think there might even be some aprons in that collection. No code needed. Cannot stack discounts. So if you have rewards, you can't use it on discounted items because the website counts that as a discount and you can't stack discounts. We also have the milk paint color of the month. It's Flour Sack or Snow White. That's 35% off. And if you watched yesterday's Paint-A-Palooza, we did use the milk paint in Flour Sack so you guys could see how that would work out. And sorry, my voice is still a little froggy.
I feel like it's lasting forever for
It
you.
is and it's weird. So I'm final day and then I go to bed and I get this little tickle in my throat. It's like, I'm like, it's probably because it's so dry here. I need to go dig out another humidifier. I have one in my mom's room right now because she's not been feeling good and she gets priority, but I know I have more because at one point we were all sick at the same time.
4 humidifiers at Goodwill.
I'm not using a used humidifier. That's a good way to get spores in your lungs.
All right.
But we do have them in the basement. I just need to go get it out.
We just washed this, so it's all wet inside and it's bugging me, but I'm not going to.
It's going to dry.
This is a small spout. I'm not going to get much traction on that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is almost ready to go. Just a little bit longer on this. So this is the design that I'm using. It's this whole area here. Then these are just little guys. And Jamie was right. I way over poured those. So when we're demolding, I'll have to.
It's all right. We can show them how to fix it. See, it was on purpose.
There you go.
Because we wanted to show people.
Do I need to get a heat gun?
We're here to fix your problems. No, you can start that box.
Oh, the box. What are we doing to the box? Just gonna...
well, we have a medium paper. And I was going to use DIY paint today because we always use cottage color. So I've got out weathered wood and apothecary. Pick your poison. I'm probably painting my jars apothecary, except for the one that you're doing the berries. I might do.
I'm going to go. I don't know. I think I might want to do like a white on this.
Okay. Well, I could go grab you some plaster.
Yeah. Do we have any? We could show them with White Swan if we have any of that.
No.
Thought we had a thing of it.
We're gonna have to bust out cottage color.
So this is fresh off the printer this morning, which is why we're using this. We were out of this paper. You guys will never know because it doesn't show on. It allows you to order all the time. But
what about provincial?
Provincial would be cool. This is a very popular one from the fall release, and I have to print it a lot.
It's because it's good.
If you remember a little while ago, I think it was before Thanksgiving, actually, before we went to Arizona, I did a faux book where it's like a box instead of a book. I did the whole cover on that with this paper, and it looked really good when it came out.
This is, I think, the last of these boxes, and I don't think this one has sold. So
yeah,
I'm gonna grab this other bottle so that way I can glue that on as soon as that's ready to go.
All right, I'm gonna put the paper up here while I paint. Keep that out of the way. On the cottage color, since it's got the built-in sealer, you gotta really stir. The DIY paint, I've actually never had to mix it. I've never had it go watery out here in the West where we live.
Sometimes I have to add water and stir.
Yeah, it will get dried out.
Yesterday we used one of our. Oh, are you gonna do white on the top of that, or are you gonna do provincial?
I'm gonna do the whole thing provincial, and we'll see where we end up
and see what happens.
Yep.
We grow a garden. If you guys are followed us for any length of time, we grow a large garden, more than we can eat. We share it with all the people, and we also feed a lot to our chickens. But we grew these pink butternut squash, and we had 1, 2, 3 that we still had. And people that don't garden probably might not know this because butternut squash isn't something readily available at most grocery stores, but it's what's called a winter squash. It's like pumpkin. So if you keep it cool and dry, it will literally be good all winter. So this is something we picked in like September.
I've literally been leaving it out on the back porch.
Oh, so we have 1, 2, 3 more left, and I cooked one. But anyways, yeah.
This is on the small side.
Yeah, they can get way bigger. And this is a pink one. But anyways, I cooked it up last night, roasted it, and made butternut squash soup for my mom. And Zeb actually ate some for breakfast this morning.
It was good. It's got maple syrup in it. I feel like it's a whole meal.
Yeah, it has some like warming spices, like what you might, just a little bit, what you might find in a cookie. It's got cream, it's got squash. I did roast one bell pepper because we had one that needed to be eaten up, and then I used my food processor. And it's funny because my mom was like, I gave her a little taste test. She's like, wow, this is really good. You made this? Because she'd been asking for squash soup, which is why I made it, because none of the stores have it. At least Sam's Club and Costco didn't.
It's not the right time of year.
And she's like, she's like, you become a really good cook. And I'm like, should I think that's good, or should I be like mildly offended? And in her defense, I don't really cook that much except for in the winter.
She missed your cooking era.
Well, and before she started feeling bad, she makes all her own meals. So she very rarely eats with us because she eats whatever she wants, whenever she wants. But now that I'm the one that's feeding her, she's eating more of what I'm cooking.
It's a really cool squash, though. It's kind of between, I think it tastes in between like a mild pumpkin and a butternut kind of mix as far as how it tastes. It's not stringy. And they're basically shelf stable through the winter because they're like a harder skin on there. They're not like a zucchini or a cucumber that's gonna get wilty and not be good after a week or two.
So this is actually like elasticy. So I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more before I pull off the excess.
I have pumpkins out there too.
Oh,
we should those princess pumpkins are supposed to be like the best for pumpkin pies, and we missed pumpkin pie season. We were in Arizona.
Well, we have a giant pumpkin that we'll save all the seeds from. If you've ever bought giant pumpkin seeds to reuse, like this is a pumpkin we grew from seeds that we harvested last year from seeds that we bought, and we got 5 seeds for like $3, which is, you know anything about seeds, that's expensive. And inside, if you were able to grow just one, you got 100 seeds or more. So we're going to open up that, and we always share them with people. I don't know why. I'm only ever like, even though I plant multiple plants, I only ever have one good.
Well, I think I'm going to do the back garden that we did with where the sunflowers are. I'm going to do that a little different. I'm going to till those sunflowers all in. I've just been letting them sit there and kind of go back to the earth.
There's so many weeds over there.
I'm going to put wide rows so that I can get the rototiller down in between. I think it'll be all right.
Do they taste anything like zucchini? No. It's
more of
buttery.
like a butternut pumpkin mix.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like zucchini. Zucchini doesn't really taste like anything, and if you blend it up in a soup, it's going to be slimy. This has more body to it. Like an acorn squash, kind of, if you've ever had that.
I really like a couple times this summer, I cut them up into like little 3/4 inch cubes and grilled them. They were really good too.
Caitlin said that her princess pumpkins that we gave her around Halloween are still going strong.
Yeah. Yeah,
Caitlin, you could totally do dinner and a pumpkin with those and then eat the pumpkin if you like squash. I'm like 6.
Jamie's not really into squash.
It's okay. I like zucchini. I made this soup because my mom wanted it. It wouldn't be my first choice, which is the reason why it's like the first time we've used this squash in a while, because Zeb doesn't cook as often, and I don't like squash. And typically, you don't cook things you're not really.
And our kids, if we cut into that thing, like our kids aren't eating that much squash.
No, the soup though, I think is a good way to get rid of it because they will eat the soup.
Yeah. Well, we could can soup.
Yeah. Well, it has cream in it, so that's a little bit harder to can, but you could freeze it. All right. So see how floppy this is? Conditions are right.
Demolded it pretty fast. How long did that take? Are we about 8-9 minutes in since I molded that?
I don't know.
And then we have our side project here. This is the main project. What we wanted to show you. We had to wait for resin to dry.
We got to get stuff out of the garage.
Yes, 100%.
Tomorrow's video is already done, and we did a challenge because people asked us to do a challenge.
It's a loose interpretation of a challenge.
We saw who could finish their project first. I won't tell you who won, but you might be surprised. But we did do kind of furniture because I did a bench stool.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a heat gun, so I'm not waiting around on that to dry.
With my mom's help, we're like filming ahead because we just never know what I'm going to be needed for. So we're trying to get a good start. Plus, we were trying to get in good habits of filming ahead anyways. because look how good that like molded around this. I'm going to tape this in place and I'm not going to have to backfill this. I am going to wipe off some excess.
If you missed the beginning, I showed you the difference between the thicker molds and the thinner molds. And the thinner molds, even if you use resin, if you catch them quick, they'll mold around things pretty easy, even if you're using resin instead of the air dry clay. I think that would actually be difficult to use in air dry clay because of how thin it is.
Caitlin says, I don't even know who won. She doesn't. She might know if she watches it before it goes up because I think she can see the back end. Somebody yesterday complained. They're like, if you're doing a craft show, why are you talking about food? Because we're live.
Everybody eats. Everybody can relate to it.
There's only so much I can tell you about what I'm doing. If you have more questions and I'm missing, what did I backfill with? I used air dried clay and the same super glue gel. So I squoze the super glue gel, then we push the air dry clay in, and then I used a damp rag to go around the edges and smooth that out.
This is the glue we've been using.
And then
Jamie used a lot of it.
Yeah, it's almost gone now. And then I primed it right away. And now I'm just taping this on here. And then I might heat gun these a little bit so I can get to the next stage because I do want to let this dry for probably at least 10, 15 minutes before I paint it. But now, because that was such a thinner mold, I can tell by looking at the back, there is complete contact like all the way with the glass bottle and the super glue gel. So I'm going to leave that.
So if you're watching your mold and you didn't just like go to the grocery store and let it do its thing, when we over poured this one, you can see this whole area. It's got a lip on there though.
I'm using my nails.
You can just tear it off. You gotta be careful because you don't want to tear the stem off.
Yeah, that can happen real fast.
You could cut with scissors or like a little X-Acto knife or something, but it just tears off out of there where it's thinner.
The thing about doing it this way is I might lose a stem, but I won't lose a finger.
Okay, so now all that overpour is gone, and now we just have what we wanted from the mold.
And I'm not
tore that off. If it gets hard, you can just cut it. If you overpour, like I did.
And this is a little imperfect, but good enough. And these will go in a bag. I keep a baggie of molds that I make when I have leftover resin, and then I periodically will use them. If you've been following us for a while, you've seen me go to the baggie of, what is it called when you pour it out? The casting?
Yes.
The casting baggie. All right, I need a heat gun. Did we get one for me?
I did not.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab one. So that way, the primer is dry, like on the bottle part. But here where it's a little thick on the clay, I want to get a crust on that because the clay will dry over time. And that way I can paint it.
Did you do clay? Oh, the clay on the edges.
Yeah.
I'm like, you didn't do any clay, it's all resin. But we put clay under where the resin didn't sit flat.
Yeah. Well, you put jeans on. I'm still in my, not that it really makes
I decided I wasn't gonna live my day in my workout clothes like I did yesterday. Although I do still need to work out later this evening. We went walking this morning, which is great, but it was not leg day today.
My mom is doing a little better. She still had night sweats, which we're working through. But she was able to I guess you could call it self-soothe. She was able to calm herself down from her anxiety and did not need to wake me up. So she did good. My mom's a tough lady. Like, I always say that I like it when people handle their business, and my mom is all about handling her business.
Probably where you get it from, if we're being real honest.
Yeah, she is way more handle your business than my dad ever was.
She is, well, and it's just like her personality, like, and she expects you to handle yours too.
Oh yeah.
She's going to take care of her stuff, and it's taken her a couple weeks, but she's getting it sorted out, right? Like, this is new for her too.
Yeah. And we are going to get her thyroid results. She might have to switch back to Synthroid. She's on Armor, which is what I take and Zeb takes, but it doesn't work for everybody. And so we'll have her thyroid results back, and she'll see her regular GP, general practitioner, if you're not in doctor lingo.
If you're not seeing doctors every week.
Yeah. We'll see her GP tomorrow, and he will give us the results, and then we'll just go from there. That's pretty dry. It's still a little, like the clay just takes a while. Just want to make sure that the primer is dry. And be careful. if you heat gun your resin too much, it's going to change the properties of the resin too. So just know that.
While I'm at it, so that I don't have to do it later, this is drying pretty quick. I'm just going to put a coat down here on the bottom and heat gun that.
Oh, I have
fast.
so much primer stuck between. I did 2 molds from the Felicity mold on this. There's literally like a pool of primer that is never going to dry that thick. I was like, this should not be connected. So this one is
but not
2 different molds from the Felicity mold, and this is just like one big one that I put sideways. But yeah, it will eventually, but we ain't got time for that. So we're just gonna pull it off. Now we're building some texture with the primer, which is also fine because I'm going to use DIY paint on here and wax. There we go.
So someone, I wish I could remember their name. I could probably go back in comments. Yesterday we were talking about trends and the Pantone color of the year. And they looked it up on the internet and copied and pasted the description. And it said that the way they curate that is they go through like several different magazines, popular home decor and designing websites and things like that. And they kind of look at the trends that they're doing. And that's how Pantone is like, okay, this is the color. So they pull from what's trending too. So it was just like, they're not necessarily setting said trend. They're just going along with it a lot of times. And it was just interesting to see that like process on how they select it. Because, you know, we're always like pro neutral colors around here because they go with everything. We're not like completely devoid of color. Jamie has a bright French blue toile couch with blue toile pillows right over there. And there's parrots on it, you know.
I have blue rug.
And a blue rug, but lots of wood tones, lots of white. Some have told us that our vibe is not farmhouse at all, that it's more Scandinavian, but it's I think it's like a mix of several to come together to be uniquely what we like. And I think that's the key, right? Like, find what you like, put it together, and if you love it, that's all you need.
The world ain't living in your house.
Yeah.
But if you don't
you
like
gotta be
your
comfortable
house,
in it, right?
I think sometimes people try to put together what they like and then it just doesn't flow. I think one of my design tips would be like, look at your room, like really look at it, then take a picture of it, which takes it from like, what is real life, 4D, 5D?
No, I don't know.
And puts it into a flat picture. And then you can look at it and you can see proportionately and balance wise what's off. It's easier to do it that way than to look at it in real life because you can see where there's gaps or things are too high or you've got like an odd out of whack, and you can envision what you might want there and then go look at rooms you really like that have similar items to yours, and you can edit what you already have, add new things, create balance, and that you have to practice at it. And you know, I used to think everybody could do it, but I've been in a lot of houses. I'm like, okay, this is a learned skill, but you can kind of break down the barrier of worrying about mistaking stuff. Just try things, live with it for a while. Then don't be afraid to move.
Well,
things.
I'm looking at our decor over here and I'm like, I see 3 gaps. I'm like, we need 3 pieces of art.
Well, I need to find my art that goes on the old door.
Yeah. I have no idea what happened to it.
And then maybe a piece of art right here between the window and the door.
Yeah, between there
small.
and then one where we had the Santa pick.
Yeah, that one was good.
You know, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, yeah, we got some. It's not necessarily like a place for your eye to rest is good, but we have so much white on the walls. We have spaces we need to fill after
Yeah,
Christmas.
I want to do a gallery wall up the stairs. Step's not going to have that, but we do have one big blank wall that I could do.
I'm fine. All the furniture is already moved up, so I don't have to really worry about banging stuff off the walls as I go up the stairs.
No, I did not get my art from Customs yet. The art coming in from Customs, though, would be too big for the spaces we're thinking. All right, so I'm coming in with Apothecary, guys. If you guys have followed me, Apothecary is my OG Jamie Ray DIY paint color that I love. My brush must be a little wet from washing them last night, but it's thinning out my paint a little. And I'm just going to tap it like this because these tend to get paint like down into the mold. And then it takes forever to dry. I'm just going to pull that paint out. And now you're starting to see that flower come to life. The next step is going to be some white wax, and then that's going to bring out even more of the detail.
Actually, I'm going to use a pencil. I have used blue pen, and it bleeds if you leave some on the paper and leaves like a blue mark.
You could also do clear wax and then dark wax if you want to, but I'm okay with the white wax look. Really.
No pencil sharpener in here. Hey, that's already looking way better with the apothecary.
Yeah.
The white wasn't bad, but it wasn't full coverage.
It's going to stick.
You threw away all your flowers.
They were my mom's. They were all dried out.
Time to go back to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I got to go to Trader Joe's. I always do bouquets in the dining room. Now I have a little silver pitcher in my living room, so I think I might put flowers in that now too. And then I always do a bouquet for my mom. Even when she's not feeling bad, I like to brighten up her room. Okay, let's heat gun this paint, and then I'm probably going to second coat it. Now, if you didn't have the primer, you could use DIY paint, do 2 or 3 coats, let it dry, and just be careful with it for probably a month. And you could paint without the primer. The primer just really makes that paint stick so much faster, harder, with less fuss. So it is my preference, but I have totally painted jars with DIY paint without primer. So I'm not like, oh, you got to use this or you can't do it. I just feel like for resale, if I have it, then it cures faster. I'm happier with it. So that's what I do.
These scissors are actually still going strong, but we've used them for tons of different projects. Jamie even cuts flowers with them.
I have some like clippers that I now use.
I found them and I have some coming.
From Amazon?
Yep. So if you guys want some, we can drop you the link.
Oh yeah, they really are. We had a follower send them to us, and they're literally like the most resilient scissors.
And I like the way that like the point is the very tip of it is like sharp, and I like that because sometimes I need to like get under something, and it just scoops right up in there.
I'm going to show you what 1 coat of paint over the primer is, and I'm probably going to go another direction when I paint the next coat because I like to have kind of a crosshatch pattern for texture. Here we go.
Are you going to do any kind of oil wax or dark wax on that?
I was going to do white wax. Do you think that would be okay? Or should I do dark oil wax?
So if you do dark oil wax, I would probably clear wax it first.
I think I'm just going to go straight up white wax, like way old school Jamie Ray vintage.
Yeah.
Because I used to be afraid of dark wax, and
it's going to really make those French country and give them a pastel look.
Yeah. Well, the bottles are French, so I can say that they're French bottles because the Trader Joe's has the French market, and it really is. It says like product made in France or whatever. I didn't realize that. I was just buying the limeade, which is really good, by the way. Like if you like the limeade from Sonic. If you have like cherry flavoring, or I even like to add raspberry, you can make your own cherry limeades with this. And not that it's probably really any cheaper than just going to Sonic. It's just convenient to have it at home. So I heard, Zeb, that Trader Joe's bags are très chic, trendy to have in other countries like Japan and UK.
Oh, really?
Because they don't have Trader Joe's there, and they go for quite a bit of money.
It's kind of like Levi's used to be, but now they're everywhere.
So I thought maybe we'll bring some bags next year and take them to the car boots and see if maybe any of the dealers want to play.
See if they want to trade.
Be like, all right, give me a discount, and I'll trade you your regular UK bag for this American Trader Joe's bag. I probably wouldn't say anything, but if they said something about the bag, then I might make a deal.
Do you have liquid patina out? I don't see it.
What, sweetie?
Do you have liquid patina out?
The clay paint is more forgiving with a heat gun than a cottage color because it doesn't have a built-in sealer. But the primer, no. So still keep your heat gun moving so you don't bubble your primer.
All right, I used that yesterday. Where did it go?
Some of the
to?
primer coming through, but because it wasn't quite dry underneath, but that's all right. What, sweetie?
I used the liquid patina yesterday.
I brought it out for you. It's already to the right of where you're at.
Like looking everywhere.
Sorry, I
for
should
it.
have listened. I asked a question, then I got distracted.
I asked you if you had it out, but you were talking and reading comments. It's fine.
Yeah, it's there.
I was gonna bite me. It's literally like right here by my arm.
It's fine. It's fine. Tara says that's her. She's French country, a little shabby chic with a little beach thrown in. You know what's really cute if you love French country with a little beach thrown in? To make those seashell boxes, like little box, cover it in little seashells. That's very like French fishermen used to make those for their wives or girlfriends as gifts. So little, and if you don't have seashells, you can use there's an IOD mold for that. I don't know if we have anymore because I thought that it was discontinued, but there is a seashell mold. Those are kind of big though.
Yeah, they usually use small shells.
Seashells.
All right, so this is rice paper that the medium papers are printed on, and it's a little bit thicker than traditional like tissue type paper, but it goes on so well. If you guys have used it, we've had several comments back. I love how flat it gets. It's so easy to use. And we like it because it holds its color really well. Now you don't want to go crazy. You can get it wet and brush it, but it's more fibrous than a lot of papers. So you don't want to overwork it. The colors aren't going to move around. We use an archival ink on these papers, but still don't, like once you get your medium on there and it's thinned out how you want, walk away. You can come put another coat on after it dries, and that'll sometimes help it suck down to the piece if you want that. I have a few wrinkles in this. I'm going to leave them because they usually will go away. I'm not going to fuss over them. And if they don't, you can iron. Like if you got a flat surface, you can iron them too.
Do you bake them in the oven then? No.
Bake what?
I don't know what I'm painting.
Oh.
Nope.
Nope.
It just air dries. And it will be a little splotchy when I wax it, but give it 24 hours.
So you can see the wrinkles there. I lost some detail. That'll go back because this will dry clear and it's a matte finish. I'll show you in a little bit. I'm gonna go set this in the sun over here.
I want to pull some of this paint out of this mold so it's not like puddled up. There we go.
Oh, we're not even running all the lights today. It's because the sun was shining and I didn't feel the need to turn the lights on.
Crafting with Tracy Hugs says, Zeb, love the papers. My favorite subscription. So if you guys are new here, we have a paper subscription where you get 4 papers every month.
I've started working on February's. It's going to be a good one.
I got my designs for the stencils in like mid-December, but my manufacturer is on a trip. So I'm hoping to get my proofs back in time for the swap over. She gets back, I think, the 11th. So I should have them the 12th, and we transition over the 13th. I don't usually like to cut it that close, so we'll see how it goes. But they're going to be really cute, the stencils for the stencil subscription. Oh, they're talking about baking pink squash, if you're just tuning in.
Oh.
We have pink like squash that I made soup for my mom. And just so you know, the soup is not pink.
The soup like looks like a color. Yellow curry.
Yeah.
It's like very bright yellow. That would be fun if it was pink.
That would be fun. But the pink is mostly in the skin, and the skin you peel off, so. I just thought it was pretty. That's why I bought the seeds. We grow enough that sometimes I'm not concerned about what I'm actually growing and more concerned with how it looks in my garden. And
well, we should have zinnias. They're like, I'm just going to pull everything else out and zinnias are just going to grow wild all over in there. No one will be sad except for the neighbor
that pulled them off. because they were growing through the fence and threw them over. I'm like, all you're doing is transferring seeds, ladies. So next year they're going to come back with a vengeance.
That garden needs a overhaul.
We have une petite grumpy neighbor, but it's all right.
She's fine.
She has her reasons, and that's whatever. Our next door neighbor, next to the shop, those are our best friends. They're very awesome. They actually take care of the chickens a lot because she loves the chickens.
She's named them.
Yeah, well, George. She has one chicken.
I'm sure the other ones are going to have names.
They will. Yeah, it will not be long before they're all named.
I did get rid of one of her favorite roosters. But
you can't have too many roosters because they will fight. So far,
they were starting to fight.
The bantam that we left and Fred, they seem to be getting along.
They're friends, I guess. I don't know. I haven't ever seen them fight. Fred is not threatened by him because he's very small.
Because our bantams are little. And Fred's a nice rooster.
I do need to trim his spurs. They're starting to curl back into his leg.
Oh, look at the primer bubbling through. It wasn't quite dry.
Watch out for that.
Sorry, I'll just wipe it off.
Okay, so I had some extra on the top. We're going to do these short sides here.
What I could do if I didn't want to like white wax it is literally just what I just did and pull back the apothecary with a wet distress, and then the white primer underneath would peek through.
Yeah, Fred he's been a great rooster. He actually keeps hawks and stuff out of the pen. I haven't had any problems with like raccoons or skunks or even mink. We have all of those in our area. He's big. So I'm hesitant to get rid of him. But
okay. Oh,
him and his girls are about 4 years old, and we haven't had an egg this winter since like December 1st. I don't even know. They're all slacking.
Let's check. Yeah, I had to
and since that is their main function, I'm not just feeding them for fun.
We're gonna put a light on them.
We got new bantams that should start laying. They're actually the right age to start laying now, but it's winter, so they'll probably wait till spring to get going.
All right, we're pulling back the tape. I will show this up close.
And bantam eggs are delicious. They're a lot of yolk.
Well, homemade eggs in general, or homegrown eggs.
Homemade eggs.
Well, I mean, whatever. You get the point. They have brighter, darker, bigger yolks.
So I'm going to let this dry, and when it dries, I'll cut it with the sandpaper. Sometimes I wet cut, but I'm going for a neater look on this because I got the top perfectly fit. So any overage that I have, once it's dried up, I'm going to try to do this. We'll see if I can do this.
I got a little painter's tape stuck. Sorry if you see that on there. I'm going to take a butter knife and scrape it off.
Since I've got both sides kind of wet here. All right. Okay. We're just going to get a corner of the tree on this one and some sky. That's okay. The sky is cool too. Sky is actually fairly difficult to paint and make it look realistic.
Oh yeah, you can use pepper to get them laying. Nikki is right. I have heard about that. Lay says, I can't eat things that do not come from the grocery store. I know that sounds weird, but it makes me choke. Hey, you know, everybody has their own eating things. However, if you ever wanted, well, maybe I shouldn't tell you this. You should watch and see how they make your food that comes in the grocery store, and then
don't do it.
Maybe then you might not want to eat anything.
Then you're going to be like, you see these homesteaders that are like becoming a very popular like lifestyle. There's a reason that they're doing it.
Yeah, definitely don't look up pig farms. That's all I have to say. Or chicken farms for that matter.
All right. My box is going to be drying over here off to the side. What do you guys think? I have these little pieces. Do you think it would be weird to put that, almost like a label in the front? I got some cows and some lake left over. I'll wait to see comments. I'm going to trim it and be ready just in case.
Okay, I'll look for comments for you. I think I might have super glue on my brush, this brush. Luckily, it's like on its way out anyways. I'm getting chunks of super glue.
Oh no, that will ruin the brush because it'll drag like a hard spot. like you have hard paint on it everywhere you paint.
I have to
put a line
give it a
in your
little
paint.
haircut. It might become an oil wax brush.
Hey, there we go.
It's like little chunks of
I
paint.
need one of those.
Not chunks of paint. Sorry, chunks of glue.
It's not like these brushes aren't old. I think that one's the newest and it's probably like a year and a half.
No, this
old.
one's pretty old.
You can see the crusty.
This one is really crusty.
Look at the buildup on this. Like this is a testament to how long these brushes last. You guys know how many projects we do and how well we don't take care of our brushes. Like look at the paint. Like how many layers are up on there.
Probably you should wait until the glue is 100% dry. If you don't want any kind of texture on your bottle. But
hey, those are looking really good with the matte on there. Are you gonna? So how are you?
I'm gonna wax them. This one is
wax?
literally gonna have so much texture from that glue, though. But I'm just gonna go with it. I don't care because it is what it is at this point. We'll see what it looks like. I'm not gonna stress. These bottles are actually really pretty, just the way they are. They have a slightly green tint. They
had a cool shape to them. I think that's what really got you into even looking at them. She's like looking at these labels and reading labels. She's like, these are actually made in France.
Like, these are French bottles. Whoa. I don't think French people actually do that.
I've never heard anyone.
They probably don't enjoy it when people do that.
Literally like things I've only seen in an American movie.
Primer. All right. I'm actually going to go and wash this real quick just because I'm going to see if I can get that off there. Before it dries completely.
All right. Okay, so what do you guys think? Pop that there. Right in the center. I need to do another coat of paint on that if we're going to do that. Trying to hold it because my paper goes over the edge and I don't want it to lift off those sides we just did. All right. Still prepping. I haven't looked at comments to see what the consensus is. Sometimes I just go with it and do what I want anyway, but I'm gonna look and see what you guys say. Oh, perfect. I'm gonna have like 1/4 of an inch left over if I wanted to do some on the back too. You know, I was talking about these scissors earlier. The crazy thing is I've not even had to sharpen these, and we use them so much.
That paintbrush is going to get a haircut.
Oh, are all the ends all frayed?
It's a little chunky. It's all right. Debbie says, no stamp on the shelf. What shelf? Were you talking about stamping?
Maybe she's talking about this. No paper on the box?
I don't know. We're not stamping.
I've been talking about putting it on the front.
Can you paint over the edges of the box? Yeah.
What do you mean?
What? So you ran out of paper?
No, I didn't run out. I'm just gonna I'm thinking of doing these with the edges, like almost like a label.
No, I just grab another. Well, yeah, that'd be fine.
I think it'd be all right.
Yeah, I think that's good. Beverly says, do what you got best. Or says, you have a good eye, do what you think is best.
I'm going to put it on there. And then maybe I'll distress it heavy and we'll see.
All right. These bottles are dry. So I'm going to grab my white wax.
Oh, but I need more of this on here. We've got some peekaboos on my paint.
Got a lot of wrinkles in that decoupage paper, sir.
Don't you stress. It's drying.
I'm over here stress-free about it.
And even if it has wrinkles, it's going to go with my look anyway. I distress everything.
So here's the situation.
I don't think I've painted something that I haven't distressed or aged or layered up in probably 6 years. Basically, since we stopped doing custom work.
I thought we were out of white wax, but we're not.
No, we have white wax.
I was just going to say I'll have to use dark oil wax, but I indeed do not. Do we have the wax brush out?
I don't think I have any wax left.
I have my clear wax just in case the white wax gets a little much for me. So I can use it like an eraser to pull it back off.
These would be cool with like a couple long stems in there.
Yep.
You're probably not going to fit more than 2, maybe 3 if you really push it.
Maybe some like
Or
branches.
like even short, like you could just do like a short stem. Just let it sit on the top. That could be cool too.
Is there a white oil wax? Yes, there is. We've done it with our floors, our countertop in
this
here.
Countertop that we work on every day is white oil wax, and I've never redone it in 5 years.
And it needs to be redone because
It is
we've
due.
got crap all over it that we need to sand off.
It's got like a couple burn marks on it.
So coming in with.
But we'll probably leave this island the way the top is until it gives out or we move or die, because it's from I made it from the rafters from the 1917 part of the house.
We used reclaimed wood. So it's like part of the house. All right, so I'm going to cover this whole thing with white wax, but when I'm done, I'm not going to wait for it to set up. I'm just going to wipe it back right away. I'm holding my breath. I'm doing this. I realized it a second ago. I'm like, oh, Jamie, stop holding your breath. So you pull it back. I'll show you guys this up close too, so you guys can see it. But it's just gonna like stick down into. And because I use the white primer, if I happen to like go through all the way through the apothecary because it's still pretty fresh, it'll just be white primer underneath and it'll look okay. If you don't wipe it back right away, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to control. So keep that in mind. You can also let it dry completely and come with clear wax if you want more of a sheen. But I'm not really that worried about this. These are going to be decor only.
I'm using the scissors and the lid to kind of keep that off of the table. I think I'm going to cut some sky off of this. That's a lot that I don't want to have to mess with. Oops.
Sorry, guys. I'm having to get in here, and so I've got to put it on my lap. So. I'm going to use a little clear because I feel like it's a little streaky and it could use some fixing. So I'm going to do clear this way. Get it to move. There we go.
Oh, we're losing a corner here. If you get that, then it'd probably be all right if I hadn't messed around with it and been moving it. So you can just come back through and put more liquid patina up underneath.
I'm not going to push really hard, but you can also see that as I'm like scratching with my fingernail, it's already not coming off. And as that sets up, it's going to be even better with that primer, which if you just use regular paint and you scratch it like this with like acrylic, it would peel right off. So the clay paint mixed with the primer is just a really good blend. Okay, let's. Like a weird line here that I don't love. Okay. All right, so we've got bottle done. It'll lighten as it dries, but I think that's really great. And I think with like a ribbon on front, it'd be pretty, or just like as is. I'm gonna do the other one and then we'll circle back to the berries one.
Okay, I might heat gun these just so we can actually show you this box. Oh, we're already like been an hour.
Oh, are we an hour?
Yep. Let me heat gun this real fast.
Well, then I might not get to the third one. You'll have to wait. But I'll take pictures and share them later on the social medias. And they'll also go up for sale as soon as they're finished. Price point on these bottles, they're kind of large. They used a mold. They're probably going to be like $22.95 a bottle. I think is reasonable for the effort in product involved. You could probably even go $28.95, but I think 22 is reasonable. If you're a reseller and you want to get a little bit more money, if you can thrift some greenery to put in them, then you could even go over 30 because you're making a custom-made flower arrangement. It would be best if you let your paint dry overnight before you waxed it, even with primer, just because that will give it a little more time to cure up.
Oh,
but live
lost
TV.
That whole corner. We'll work with that. Maybe we'll wax. Wasn't quite dry. Crafting on a live stream. Some people watch after the fact. They're like, "Why are you rushing your project?" I'm like, "Well, because it was filmed live." All right, that side was dry.
Thank you, Kathy. I think the bottles did turn out good. A little project, a great way to use your products. Doesn't take a lot of paint. It's a great way to learn how to use resin and just fun. And you could be even next level if you wanted to before you waxed it. You could put an IOD transfer on here. Just make sure that the paint, it dries overnight before you do that. And you could do like some French words. I think that would be really pretty. Now that I have waxed it, we will not be adding any transfers. They would not stick very well.
I just scraped that with my fingernail.
What?
It'll be all right. The paper's still wet.
There's that one. And that one. And people might love the way that paper sounds.
It's not too crazy. It's not quite chalk nails on.
Oh, I forgot my heat gun fell on the floor, and I just left it because it landed right side up.
So I'm going down instead of sideways because it'd want to rip since it's still wet. Okay, let me go get that lid. I think that'll give you a good idea. I'm probably going to do some waxing, some more distressing, might age the paper some. This is still wet and the wrinkles have not come out of it. So maybe we'll try to get a picture later once it's all done, because it's going to have to dry for a couple hours. Like you can heat gun it, but it doesn't work as well with the decoupage.
Yeah. And I'm going to wait till this is all the way dry, this glue and whatnot, before I paint this. And I might knock off some of the bits of glue that got into the primer. If you see me kind of brush them off, I'm just brushing off the tall ones. So that way it's not like too much texture. And then as soon as this is dry all the way, I'll go ahead and paint it apothecary with white wax. And we'll have 3. All right, guys. Do you want to show them to them up close where you're at?
Yeah, give me just a second here.
You're going to have faith in the bonus project.
It'll be really good once we're done. We'll make sure to share pictures of it.
If you were going to put water in these, because you don't want to get water all over the paint with the wax, you'd use a funnel. In case you wanted to put fresh flowers in these, you totally could, because the inside is just glass. No paint on the inside. You can see they're clear.
Okay. Well, we're going to call that there.
Let it dry.
And I'm going to distress the sides. I might even do like a fun stencil here with like some branding. But we'll see. I think
dark oil wax and some distress, and make sure that it lays flat We have more paper if we need to, but I think people are going to be surprised how flat once it dries it'll lay.
No,
So
it always surprises me. I'm like, oh, look at all those wrinkles. And then it's done and dried, and I'm like, oh, where'd the wrinkles
if
go?
you guys need medium JRB rice paper, the Salvation solution, the DIY paint, the waxes, the IOD molds, we used Felicity, and then we also have wild berries and the brushes, JamieRayVintage.com. And these 3 bottles will go up for sale probably in about an hour. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY
and thrifting. We'll see you guys on Thursday's video. Probably be live at 4 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday.